welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. This commentary is pertaining to an African American female, 21 years of age, Tamia Taylor. She derives out of Covington, Mississippi, and she went to Memphis, Tennessee, to partake in a riverboat ride, or as some of us will say here in Tennessee, riverboat cruise. But she has not been seen. So we have to ask the ultimate question. Did she get on the boat? Did she get off of the boat? What happened to this young lady? The Riverboat has issued a statement basically saying she was on the boat before it docked. So one is going to say, well, then how is she missing if she was on the boat, seen on the boat before it docked? Very strange. And the words that they use is troublesome to me because it says, from the footage we've seen circling about. Listen very carefully now. From the footage we've seen circling about. Well, then that means that's not footage from your boat. You're looking at footage from someone else's phone. Cell phone. That's not good. Because we have to wonder the timing of the cell phone data. That's what's going to matter. The time that she is seen on the boat. But you are alleging before the boat docked. So we're going to ask the question, what is before? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I like a receipt and I like accuracy. Because it's open-ended when you say right before it docked. So how long was the cruise? What was she wearing? Who was she with? A lot of he said, she said coming out from the people who were allegedly with her or she met with. Don't know how she got there, who she rode with, who she walked on the boat with. But we know her alleged friends came off the boat without she. I'm also going to tie in two other stories of African-American women in Memphis, Tennessee. One found deceased months ago on Airport Road. Still an open case. If you have any information, please contact Crime Stoppers. And also a body has been found in that same general area of a burned body. And an African-American woman is currently missing. So we will have to wait to get information from the medical examiner to see if indeed the woman is currently missing and family searching for her, if it's indeed this lady found burned, same area, just thrown outside of the road, burned. This is very baffling information. And I thought the right thing to do, because I do live in Tennessee, I'm several hours from Memphis, I felt I had to do due diligence to go ahead and talk about the other women. One currently missing and one found deceased back in, I believe, March of this year. Crystal Rogers, Caucasian female, went missing many years ago in Bardstown, Kentucky. An arrest has been made in her disappearance. Her body has never been found. I have brought you this information many moons ago pertaining to Crystal Rogers. I watched a very interesting documentary pertaining to her family and the quest to find her. Many of you who have followed the story know that her father was murdered after she went missing. I do believe there's a connection to his death to her disappearance. I do believe that Miss Crystal Rogers is no longer alive. She leaves behind children, and I'm grateful that somebody has gotten information for an arrest. I do believe her boyfriend is the culprit and the orchestrator of her disappearance. I'm going to bring you information later on pertaining to Crystal Rogers. and other breaking news. Please check my community board for said updates. Movies of the week: Equalizer 3, Denzel Washington, now playing in theaters, and The Nun 2, also playing in theaters. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ McAngie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome to the live stream. Let's get down to business, everybody. What happened to Tamia? Who knows the truth? Did she go overboard? Was she pushed? Did she fall off, stumble off, inebriated? What happened? Is she somewhere on the boat? Still tucked away. Somebody knows the truth. And we're going to pray for the truth and answers. And if indeed this is a crime that is of a nefarious nature, we're also going to pray for justice. You're going to hear from her mother and also a statement issued from the Riverboat pertaining to the disappearance of this young lady. WREG News 3 is the source. Family seeks answers in search of woman missing from Memphis Riverboat. Thank you for joining me, everybody.
Today, there has been a search here along the banks of the Mississippi River for any sign of Tamia Taylor. Her mother telling me she made the trip here to downtown Memphis to celebrate her 21st birthday on a riverboat cruise. But that entire time, that mother also telling me she always had a bad gut feeling. Where is Tamia Taylor? The question on law enforcement and loved ones' mind Monday morning as they search for clues as to where the mother of two could be.
We all out here because we love her. We care about her. We want her to return. Whether she come back alive or whether I have to bury her, I need closure because I am hurting.
It was supposed to be a big 21st milestone birthday weekend for Tamia.
That's all she had talked about all evening, all week, coming out, celebrating. No, I didn't want her to come. Why? It was a mother's intuition. And look what happened.
What was your gut feeling?
Not to come.
You just thought something bad might happen?
Correct.
But what happened remains the question. Memphis police issued a city watch alert early Sunday morning. Tamia got on a boat with 3 other friends Saturday night, but when the boat docked, Tamia could not be located.
No one knows anything, and I don't understand how. The only thing they told me was she went upstairs on the 2nd floor to use the bathroom. She put her phone down on the table. We picked her phone up. We went and waited by the door for her to come out, and then we left. Why would you leave? That makes no sense.
Deborah believes people know more than they're letting on. She's making it a mission to get answers.
This is not nothing that we're going to let go as if though she was a nobody, because she's a somebody. And if no one cares, I care.
Shay Arthur, WREG, News Channel 3.
And we did reach out to Memphis Police for any updates in this case as we wait to hear back. If you think you know anything, you're asked to call Memphis Police.
Let's go back to what the friends allegedly did on this boat pertaining to this young lady going to the restroom.
Happened remains the question. Memphis police issued a city watch alert early Sunday morning. Tamia got on a boat with 3 other friends Saturday night, but when the boat docked, Tamia could not be located.
No one knows anything, and I don't understand how. The only thing they told me was she went upstairs on the 2nd floor to use the bathroom. She put her phone down on the table. We picked her phone up. We went and waited by the door for her to come out, and then we left. Why would you leave? That makes no sense.
Deborah believes people know more than they're letting on. She's making it a mission to get answers.
This is not...
All right. Let's start with the logistics. 21-year-old going to Memphis, Tennessee to celebrate her birthday with 3 friends. Number 1, who drove? Real friends, associates, friend of friends. How did she get there? Did they meet other people at the riverboat? You have to ask all those questions because all that's going to matter in finding out what happened to this young lady. Okay? Miss Tamia. There are pictures of her with 2 children. So I believe she has children. Here you hear her mother speaking in this commentary about finding her either way, alive or deceased, which I don't like that because it's not good to talk about a person being deceased just a few days in. We're just at Monday. And I'm assuming this event took place, that would have been probably Saturday. So let's think positive, even if it looks grim. Who did she go with? Did she drive on her own? Or did she get in a car with somebody? Who did she walk on the boat with exactly? All 3 friends or a group of friends? Did they meet other people there? Were there anybody else on the boat that wanted them to go somewhere else after the riverboat? It is alleged that the young lady put her phone down on the table, which sounds suspicious to me because why would a woman put her phone down? Women don't usually leave their phones unless they're going to dance. Stay woke, everybody. Did she have a purse, crossover bag, clutch bag? See, I ask all the questions. That's why a lot of people don't like the queen. Because they know the queen's going to ask the questions that many people don't think about. Because we know that most young people are glued to their cell phones. So I have to ask the obvious questions. She put her phone down. Where was her purse? She didn't have lip gloss. She didn't have keys. She didn't have ID. She didn't have money. Come on with it, queen, because they're not ready for you this morning. Or let me say this afternoon. Did she carry a purse on the boat? Did she take the purse to the restroom but left the phone? Come on with it now. Was somebody watching her on the boat? Somebody made a pass at her. Somebody was trying to flirt with her. She rebuffed somebody. She went upstairs. So now you have to ask who was upstairs. What was the time that she went upstairs? Was it near the time for them to dock the boat, or they were pulling into the dock and she decided to use the restroom? See, all of those things will be relevant due to the response that they gave, the friends. She set her phone down. She went upstairs to the second level, used the bathroom. We picked up her phone and went upstairs, waited on her. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So to mean to tell me you knocked and knocked and knocked, was the door open or closed? Stay woke. What's the size of the bathroom? Could more than one person go in, or only one person could use a private toilet? Did you get a response? Did you knock on the door? Did you try to open the door? So you left with her phone. So I asked once again, did she have a purse? And why would a woman take her purse but leave her phone? Or did she leave the phone and her purse? Please tell the queen, because I'm curious. How is it set up on the second level? Were there many people up there when the young lady went into the restroom? Was she accosted up there on the second floor going in or coming out? Someone saw her, decided to play funny games, assaulted the lady, did something to her. What? Pushed her overboard after doing something to her? Because let the Riverboat people talk. She was on the boat from their gathered information. Doesn't say from our surveillance. So now, where do we go from here? Did they call 911 after getting off the boat? Let me call her mother. Let me call such and such. You do not hear the mother saying they notified me right after they got off the boat that she never came out of the restroom. So how did the mother find out that her child was missing? If she's a mother of her children, had custody of her children, where were her children? She had to ask all these questions. Was she dating somebody? Has she fallen out with a young man? Was somebody watching her on the boat? Or do we have a case of nefarious associates? Something jumped off on the boat. Somebody felt some type of way. Somebody lured her in a corner some type of way, pushed her overboard. We don't want to think that, but we have to use deduction because it is a riverboat. And in the dark, who's going to see her in the water? Nobody. This is bad, bad, bad. Let's hear from the Riverboat Company. Thank you for joining me, everybody in the chat. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Okay. Oh, mercy. The drama never stops. Fox 13, Memphis is the source. A Covington mother is desperate to find her 21-year-old daughter days after she disappeared from a cruise along the Mississippi River. They seemed to make it off the boat, and she didn't, and no one has any answers. They didn't know what happened, Deborah Taylor told Fox 13. Taylor's daughter, 21-year-old Tamia Taylor, was last seen getting on a riverboat with friends Saturday night, September 9th. Deborah Taylor told Fox 13 that Tamia Taylor came to Memphis Saturday night to celebrate her 21st birthday with 3 friends, went to Beale Street, and then got on the riverboat cruise. So let's repeat that. Celebrating her birthday with 3 friends, went to Beale Street, allegedly, and then got on the riverboat. Is there verification of them going on Beale Street? Hope so. Nothing about this whole scenario of the night adds up, the mother told Fox 13. Nothing adds up. Memphis Riverboats issued a statement on Monday saying that they do not believe Tamia Taylor went overboard. Here is the statement. We would like to express our sympathy to Tamia Taylor's family and friends in regard to her being a missing person. A statement from Memphis Riverboats, Inc. said, we can confirm from video footage circling around. Stay woke, everybody. Video footage circling around that she was last seen on the boat as the boat was pulling into the harbor where we dock our boats. We have no reason to believe she could have gone overboard, and we will be respecting MPD as they conduct their investigation. We hope that she is found safe and returns home. If you have any information about her, please contact the Memphis Police Department. Monday morning, dozens of Tamia Taylor's friends and family members lined the banks of the Mississippi River looking for the Covington High School graduate and mother of 2 young children. I about forgot what day I'm on. This is Tuesday, excuse me. But anyway, this was the statement issued yesterday. It says, that last her mother knows, Tamia Taylor boarded the boat around 11:30 p.m. After that, the friends she came with were unable to provide any clarity of what happened to her daughter, the mother said. This makes no sense. That she boarded the boat at 11:30. After that, the friends she came with were unable to provide any clarity. Why not? If you all were together. That doesn't make any sense. I said, what do you mean you don't know? She said, we don't know. We lost her. How do you lose somebody that you came with? She then gave me the story. We were on the boat. We were getting out of the boat. And Tamia said she had to go to the bathroom. So here is the timeline, if we're to believe this version from the so-called friends. As I had said earlier, were they about to get off the boat and the young lady needed to use the restroom? We were on the boat. We were getting out of the boat, and Tamia said she had to go to the bathroom. She put her phone down to go back up to the second floor to use the bathroom. We picked up her phone. We went to the door to stand and wait on her, and then we left, quote unquote. Despite a search of the boat and the river by friends, family, and the Memphis police, no sign of the 21-year-old had emerged by Monday morning. Fearing the worst, Tamia Taylor's family is still holding out hope that she will be found safe. You got to have hope. Don't never lose hope, Deborah Taylor said. Anybody that knows anything, hear anything, please just give us whatever information. Even if you think it's not important, it may be more important than you think. Tamia Taylor is about 5'7" and was last seen wearing a beige shirt, white shorts, a black jacket, and white shoes. If you have any information as to where Tamia Taylor is, Memphis police urge you to give them a call at 901 545 2677. The information from this article is by Fox 13. If you need verification. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. Repeat of what happened allegedly. We were on the boat. We were getting out of the boat, and Tamia said she had to go to the bathroom. She put her phone down to go back up to the second floor to use the bathroom. We picked up her phone. We went to the door to stand and wait on her, and then we left. What is wrong with this story, this version? I'll ask the chat that. We were on the boat. We were getting out of the boat. So basically you're saying you were trying to leave because the boat was what? Docking or had already docked? So I'm going to ask you. Because a lot of times when people report stories, it's open-ended. And when you're dealing with a missing person, you can't have an open-ended statement. Was the boat moving, little girls? You know, Queen can get very ignorant when it comes to true crime. Little girls, was the boat moving or not moving when your friend went to the restroom allegedly? How long did you wait for your friend before you went upstairs with her phone to see about her in the restroom? Did you knock on the door, little girls? Did you get a response? Did you try to open the door? Was the door locked? If it was locked, you should have kept banging on the door. Hey, what's up? What's wrong? You okay? You sick? What's the matter? Do we need to call security? You need us to get somebody to pry the door open? I'll wait. You don't hear any of that. We banged and we kicked and come on, girl. We got to go. The boat stopped. We got to get off of here. Now the boat, Riverboats have said they've searched the boat. She's not on the boat. So if something nefarious happened to her on the boat, she's not tucked away somewhere in a cubby hole, closet, or whatever on the boat. And naturally, those boats are open, riverboats. So it's not too many places I would assume that a person could be hidden. So what the hell happened? Then you have to ask, how deep is the water where the boat docked? If I'm to believe she did go overboard, either on her own or accidentally, or she was pushed, thrown. So I'm going to ask, did anybody see or hear anything nefarious going on between Tamia, the associates, and any other passengers, crew on the boat? How many people were on the boat? How far did the boat go on the river? 1 hour, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, what? Was she sick? Did she get sick? Does she have health problems? Was she drunk, inebriated? Was she under the influence of narcotics? And now to your friends, so-called friends. Why the hell you didn't tear that door off the hinges to see about your friend if the door was locked? I'll wait. Why didn't you call the service crew? Hey, our friend is in there. We're banging, we're knocking, we don't have a response. Could you please pry the door open? Bingo card. Y'all playing with the wrong person today. I'm going to say it again. Y'all are playing with the wrong person today. Because if I went on a cruise, boat, whatever you want to call it, and a person is out of sight, and I assume they went to the restroom on another level, and the door is locked, why would I not go get the captain or somebody to come pry the damn door open? Hey, this door is locked. Our friend is allegedly in here. We need somebody to open the door to make sure she's okay. Who doesn't do that? You're on a boat, for God's sake. And the boat has docked, I'm assuming, at some point. And you're going to get off the boat and leave your friend? So let me guess. You did what? Call her mom to say, she's still in the bathroom on the boat. And then what did you do? Drive her phone to her mother? Help me understand. Will the phone give us any type of movement, text messages that are suspect in nature pertaining to the disappearance of Tamia Taylor? Because something is very off with this story, as most of these stories are. This isn't a case of going to a foreign country such as Mexico, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and a person goes missing, found deceased under, suspicious circumstances. We're talking about right here in good old US of A at the bottom of the state, Tennessee, Memphis. Friends going out to celebrate a young lady's birthday, allegedly, and she has to go to the restroom on the second level, and she is nowhere to be found. And the boat company says, we've searched the boat. She's not here. Well, where is she? How big is the boat? Any compartments not looked in, checked, that could store a 5'7" human being? Let me ask that. Memphis has had a lot of crime over the years, and the uptick is disturbing. A burned body was found last week, and there's also a missing woman. Do not know if this woman is the actual remains that were found on the side of the road. And then you jog backwards to March of another African-American female who went missing, and she was found in the same area, Airport Road. She was found dead. So I want to know if those two stories are connected. And I decided to put them into this live stream as well because they deserve the attention, such as Miss Tamia Taylor. Because this city has so much crime and there's so many people killing each other down there in Memphis. I don't know what the problem is, but it is devastating to have a great city just go downhill with crime, robberies, assault, murder. For what reason? And it's a lot of crime pertaining to African American people, and it needs to stop. But the mindset is the problem. That's what's wrong. I don't know if there's something in that dirty, murky water down there in the river, but somebody needs to quit drinking it or do something, get themselves together, because the crime is outrageous. It is nonstop killing, murder, assault, people murdering children, people murdering neighbors, people murdering friends, family, associates, strangers, robberies. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Because it's sad. Every time you hear a story coming out of Memphis, it's always about death. Some of you are wayward. Your spirit is wayward. You're killing rappers. You're killing friends of rappers, relatives of rappers. You're just killing anybody with the pulse down there. For what reason? You're just knocking off people for no damn reason. And it needs to stop. Let's go back in time pertaining to two other crimes of African-American women, one missing and one found deceased. Thank you all so much for joining me. This was uploaded 5 days ago. Family desperate as the search for missing Memphis woman continues. Fox 13 is the source.
Have you seen this woman? 27-year-old Dominique Lomax. Her family says that she's been missing now since Sunday. And tonight, they're asking for your help to find her. Fox 13's Mandy Rock is joining us in our studio tonight. Mandy, you had a chance to talk with her brother.
Yeah, that's right. Deontay Russell, who lives in another state, said he was scrolling on Instagram yesterday when he came across a post that said his older sister, Dominique Lomax, was missing. He's now desperately trying to piece together what led up to her disappearance. Records say Lomax's mother called police yesterday after she was not able to get in touch with her daughter. She told police Lomax was missing from the Highland Meadows apartments on Airways Boulevard. The report says Lomax's boyfriend told officers he dropped her off at the complex just before 5 Sunday morning. He told police minutes later Lomax texted him that she was going to walk in, and that was the last time he said he heard from her. About 2 miles away on Lexi Lane, a man told police he was doing yard work when he found a black Galaxy cell phone near Holmes Road. The report says he answered the phone when Lomax's sister called and met up with her Monday so she could retrieve it. Lomax's brother, who no longer lives here in Memphis, said he was devastated when he found out that his sister was missing.
It was very abrupt and very shocking to me to see my sister had went missing and the information that was disclosed. It's a sad day when we genuinely feel like we have to be afraid of our home. The disarray chaos in the city of Memphis is not normal.
And not able to provide police with any information about Rico or who he is. Police say Dominique Lomax is 5'11", 200 pounds, and has a red bob. If you know where she might be, call police. Darcy?
Let's go back to about this boyfriend.
Minutes later, Lomax texted him that she was going to walk in, and that was the last time he said. Boyfriend told officers he dropped her off at the complex just before 5 Sunday morning. He told police minutes later Lomax texted him that she was going to walk in, and that was the last time he said he heard from her.
Well, as I said, burned remains were found in this area, I guess not too far from where she went into some apartments, allegedly. So we are to believe the boyfriend's version. I dropped her off. She was going to see a man. Another article says she's going to see a man. Why would you be taking your girlfriend to go see another man? Where is this boyfriend at? You hear they brothers say they don't know much about him. There's also information about another man that was found deceased around the same time. And I'm wondering if this guy is linked to this missing woman, Miss Lomax, this dead guy. Do not know. Just trying to piece it together. But number one, I believe a male body was found at 5 in the morning on the same day, which would have been Monday. Same time this lady goes missing. Then days later, I believe on a Wednesday, a burned body is found not too far from these apartments. Naturally, we have to wait for our autopsy medical examiner to see who the remains belong to. Either way, it's tragic because they belong to somebody. But like I said, 5 in the morning, why are you dropping your girlfriend off to somebody else's apartment and waiting for her to text, so on and so forth? Why would she be going to see another man? Help me understand. This is the brother speaking about his missing sister, Miss Lomax. Dominique Lomax. What happened? This is some strange stuff. So I want you to stay on board of what I'm saying to you. She goes missing. This was 5 days ago, okay? Nobody's seen or heard from her. Now, another report, we're going to go over to ABC 24 News, and human remains have been found after firefighters put out an early morning fire south of Memphis Airport. Now, remember, where she went is on what? Airport Way or some area, I believe, near the airport. All this is near the airport. They're all in the same time frame. Missing woman on an early Monday morning And then I believe on this Wednesday morning, remains are found on fire. Is this Miss Lomax that went missing? I do not know. Let's see if we can tie the story together. Thank you for joining me.
Discovery of human remains, they say, were found after an early morning fire south of the airport. It happened around 4:30 this morning at Sweeney Road near Holmes Road. MPD is calling this a homicide. Anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers. That number is 901-528-CASH.
Crime Stoppers, detectives. Detectives don't want to tell you how the person was killed, but we can use deduction. Their final ending was by fire. So were they dead at the time of disposal or injured and then set afire? Very, very scary information. I'm going to take you back 6 months from these two stories of Tamia missing and Miss Lomax missing. WKRN News 2 is the source. Body found near Memphis airport identified.
Karen.com alert desk. Memphis police are searching for a killer after a body was found near the airport. Police confirmed the woman found dead along the side of Holmes Road last week has been identified as 39-year-old Candy Walker. She was pronounced dead on the scene. Police say her death is being investigated as a homicide and now needs your help looking for the killer. If you have any information that can help police, you should call Memphis Police. And if an arrest is made, you could be eligible for up to a cash reward of up to $2,000. Remember, News 2 brings you breaking news around the clock at WKRN.com.
Holmes Road. This was 6 months ago. A lady was found deceased. Read her obituary, very simple obituary, which kind of bothered me because it didn't describe anything about her, Miss Candy Walker. Who she was as a person, where she came from, nothing. And I thought, usually when an obituary is written about a person, there's a little bit of, information about them. Where they were raised, their hobbies, their parents names, a few good friends, relatives are mentioned in the obituary, what they like to do, their aspirations, their hobbies. I didn't get any of that, which I found very strange. The reason why I mentioned her story from 6 months ago is because the remains found last week are near the same area. So is this the same person, or we're talking about just two people who happen to be dumped in the same general area? And then now we have this other young lady missing from a riverboat cruise. All sad, young African-American women missing, all different ages, but nonetheless still human beings. Let me read you Candy Walker's obituary. This is from 6 months ago. This is the lady found discarded, Holmes Road. Candy Benet Walker, 39, passed away March 2nd, 2023. She is survived by one daughter, Marva Walker, one granddaughter, Cove Walker, two sisters, and 8 brothers. Let me see if they put something else up here. I know when I first went in there, I didn't see anything else. Yes, that's all it says. To send a flower arrangement or to plant trees in memory of Candy Benet Walker, please click here to visit our sympathy store. That's it. Saturday, March 25th, 2023. When you look at the timeline of her death to when she was buried, you're talking about 23 days. It is a common practice here in the United States that we bury the dead within 3 days for obvious reasons. because the longer the body's held out, it will deteriorate. That's why we use the practice of embalming the body to preserve the body. This girl was held out 3 weeks for burial. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I've just found it strange there wasn't much about her in the obituary. Very strange. Survived by 2 sisters, 8 brothers, 1 daughter, Marva Walker, and 1 granddaughter, 39-year-old lady, Candy Benet Walker. Why such little details, I wonder? Why held out 3 weeks? Possibly financial reasons, because it costs a lot to bury people nowadays. But that's what kind of bothered me about this. Not much said about her in obituary, and now reading 3 weeks up until her burial, which means that people probably needed to find a way to bury her, financial means. You see, my mind always wonders when I listen to a storyline. I listen to the details of a story. My father always told me that, and it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes it's best to listen. That's why it's best to let the story spin itself and just gather the information as you go along. Just listen. This lady discarded out like trash 6 months ago. Fast forward last week, a body is burning on the side of the road in the same general area. And then we also have a missing woman, black woman. It's Lomax. And I don't know where the boyfriend is. Are those 2 cases connected? Candy's case from 6 months ago to the burning remains and this missing Lomax lady. There's something very creepy going on in this airport area of bodies being dumped. Is it the same person or just a copycat? Let me dump the body in this same area where that lady was dumped 6 months ago, Miss Walker. What's going on down there? Whatever it is, it's not good. My condolences to Miss Walker's family, and my prayers are with the Lomax family. They get answers pertaining to the disappearance of Dominique Lomax, and also prayers to Tamia's family, as you heard her mother speaking in commentary pertaining to her disappearance. This is something I found today pertaining to the missing women out of Memphis, Tennessee. Mystery of missing Memphis women. Race a factor? This is by Lily Strickland. I won't say it's an actual issue of race, because predominantly there are more black people in the Memphis area and general area. So I don't think race has anything to do with it. I just think you have a lot of sick, demented people wandering around down there. Just like other places in the United States. And it's just now become a hunting ground, Memphis, Tennessee, in the general area. In Mississippi, it's just a hunting ground, sad to say. Memphis, Tennessee, September 12th, 2023. This is uploaded 10 minutes ago. The city of Memphis, Tennessee is grappling with the unsettling disappearance of 2 African-American women, raising questions about the police department's response and the need for a more concerted effort in locating these missing individuals. What compounds the mystery even further is that both women vanished within a 15-minute drive of each other within the city, prompting concerns about the potential implications. Case number one, Tamia Taylor's disappearance on a Mississippi River cruise. Tamia Taylor, 21-year-old from Covington, Tennessee, disappeared during a cruise along the Mississippi River, leaving her family and friends in anguish and desperate for answers. She was last seen celebrating her 21st birthday with friends in Memphis, enjoying Beale Street before boarding the Riverboat cruise. But the circumstances surrounding her disappearance have left her family deeply troubled, and they wonder if race is a factor in the response. So maybe that's what they mean by race. The response, not necessarily a black woman missing, but the response of the black women missing. Understandably. Tamia was last seen boarding a riverboat with her friends on September 9th, and the details surrounding her vanishing act have raised serious questions. Her mother, Deborah Taylor, has expressed her frustration, stating that nothing about the situation adds up. Memphis Riverboats Inc. released a statement indicating they do not believe Tamia went overboard, but the family remains concerned about the pace of the investigation. Despite extensive searches, including efforts by family, friends, and the Memphis Police Department, there has been no sign of Tamia as of Monday morning. Her family holds out hope for her safe return, but cannot help but wonder if the authorities would have responded differently had she been of a different race. So let's weigh in. Is there an issue with race as far as the response of looking for a missing Black woman in Memphis, Tennessee, and in the United States altogether? Of course. We do not get the attention as white women get when they go missing. Sad, but it's true. Connection to the white person missing has a lot to do with how it gets to the news. Prominent family, wealthy family, well-known. It gets top priority to make it to the news desk because that's the whole point about news stories. The producers and of the news programs, they pick and choose what to put first to the air of a news story. Case number 2, Dominic Lomax's disappearance near Memphis Airport. In a separate but equally unsettling case, unidentified human remains were discovered near Memphis Airport. This discovery comes as family members search for 21-year-old Dominic Lomax, who was last seen at the nearby Highland Meadows apartment just 1.5 miles from where the body was found. And I think she's 27 and not 21. Dominic Lomax disappeared on September 9th, and her sister, Denitra Lomax, is anxiously searching for answers. Wait a minute, this is getting really weird. September 9th. Is that right? I don't know, because that seems like the same day that Tamia went missing. Wait 1 second, you guys. Let me reread this. Yeah, it's the same day. Tamia was last seen boarding a riverboat on September 9th. That's case number 1, everybody. Case number 2 is about Miss Dominic Lomax near Memphis Airport. She went missing as well, from what this article says, September 9th. And her sister, Denitra Lomax, is anxiously searching for answers. Memphis police reported that the victim remains unidentified. I could have sworn she was missing a few days before that, maybe around the 6th or something. If anything needs clarified, I will put it below the video. Memphis police reported that the victim remains unidentified, but Denitra wonders if it could be her sister. The circumstances surrounding Dominic's disappearance are also shrouded in uncertainty, and her family questions whether race might play a role in the investigation's urgency. According to police reports, Dominic was last seen with her boyfriend, who claimed he dropped her off to meet another man. Now, here's the article where I said, allegedly, the boyfriend said he dropped her off to meet another man at 5-something in the morning. Very strange to me. Her family believes the boyfriend knows more about her whereabouts and alleges that someone discarded Dominic's phone. And you just heard that in the previous article that I played, that the phone was thrown out. A man found the phone. The sister was calling the phone, and they met up for him to give her the cell phone. Both cases raise concerns about the level of police involvement and whether race is a factor in the pace and intensity of the investigations. What compounds these concerns is the proximity of the disappearance. Both Tamia Taylor and Dominic Lomax went missing within a 15-minute drive of each other within the city, from where the riverboat docks to the apartments near Memphis Airport. As family members and friends search for answers, they are urging the community to come forward with any information that could help uncover the truth behind these unsettling disappearances. The families emphasize the importance of not losing hope and call for transparency and a more robust effort from the Memphis Police Department to bring these missing women home safely. Lily Strickland. has been writing about current events, sciences, arts for over 25 years. And she is the author of this. Maybe I should go back in and read the comments, because you'd be surprised the people who may know something or heard something pertaining to these cases. Lily says Caucasian women missing in the area are generally front page news, but it hasn't been the same for the African American community, and families are wondering if that is a factor. Race being the reason that there isn't more being done, pleading with the police to help organize more searches, etc. It's truly saddening. And I believe she was responding to, she was just commenting basically back to back. 64% of Memphis is Black. However, statistically speaking, the African American community has been done a disservice with the way the investigations are being handled, according to the families of the victims. Another person said the majority of Shelby County is Black. Maybe that's why they are Black. Covington also has a large Black population. Shaking my head. Someone else responds 9 minutes ago, Miss Joyce Worrell from Covington, Tennessee. I hate to hear race always brought up. Just concentrate on finding these these beautiful young ladies. Somebody knows something. Is this sex trafficking, kidnappings? Sandra Abbott from Memphis says, I can't believe this is even a conversation. Come on, people. I have been following this and I'm heartbroken and want to know what happened to this beautiful young lady. My prayers are for her to have left the boat safely and maybe hanging out somewhere. And if she is, she calls her mother ASAP. Race should not be a factor, period. Let's find her and bring her home. Well, as the author has said, and I guess these people who are related to the victims, or the missing people rather, they're wondering if all is being exhausted pertaining to the disappearances of these ladies, Miss Lomax and Miss Taylor. Is this a case of human trafficking? Is this a case of maybe a serial killer? I don't know, because I don't know these ladies and I don't know the circumstances from how they went missing, because each circumstance could be different. One was with a boyfriend. Maybe he knows more, not telling the truth. Where is he? I haven't found anything of relevance to where he is, if he's breathing, because when I was doing my research to bring you this information, some guy was allegedly found deceased around the same time that this lady went missing. So where is the boyfriend? Is he alive or dead? Where is he? Where is he? The human remains discovered on Airport Road. Do they belong to Miss Lomax? 6 months ago, Candy Walker, discarded, same area. Who killed her? You don't hear anything. And I've been going in trying to find updates pertaining to Candy Walker, updates pertaining to Miss Lomax from a week ago, and now Tamia Taylor, also a week ago. This is bad, bad business. And this is even more disturbing with Tamia's case, because she's in a public venue. Allegedly, she's out on Beale Street, which is a busy area of tourists and people shopping and eating and dining and walking about. Did she film herself while out on Beale Street? Did she go live on Facebook, TikTok, IG? Did she actually get on the boat? So you have to ask all those questions. Because I don't want to find out later she wasn't even on the boat. So you don't know, because you're listening to other people's versions pertaining to another human being. So you have to ask all those pertinent questions when it comes to somebody going missing. Do you have actual footage of her boarding the boat, going live, taking pictures, timestamp? When the girls got off the boat, what time was it? Did they actually go upstairs to knock on the door to see about the young lady in the restroom? Did the girl actually go to the restroom? See, that's another question. See, you don't know because you're going by somebody else's version. She went upstairs. She left her phone, which sounds crazy to me. Most women would take their phone with them, I would assume. But I could be wrong because everybody does different things. Hey, girl, watch my phone. I'll be right back. So that's why I said, did she have a purse? Did she have a clutch bag? Did she have a crossover bag? Did she have a big size purse? Was she inebriated? You know, hey, I got to go tinkle. You leave your phone. You go run to the bathroom. But now she's not heard from. What is the truth to what happened on that riverboat? Was there an altercation, some words, snide remarks, ill feelings, and something bad happened to her? Is it possible that somebody harmed her in that group of so-called friends and she did go overboard, deliberately thrown, pushed by one of these young ladies, somebody else, some nefarious deed done to her on the boat, and she is in the water? And I hate to hear of a body surfacing in the river and it being this young lady, Miss Taylor. That's why I asked all the pertinent questions. Did she actually get on the boat? Is there footage of her being on the boat with a time stamp? What time did the boat dock? Do we have time stamps of the girls exiting off the boat? Any footage on the boat of them exiting without this young lady? Do you have footage of everybody getting on the boat? Do you have footage of this young lady getting on the boat? See, you have to have that. Because it's easy to say, oh, yeah, that's her right there. But it could have been God knows how many people crowded on a damn riverboat. I don't know. So is there actual footage of her getting on the boat and being on the boat, Miss Tamia Taylor? Yes, could be a serial killer. See, you don't know. Because you got to try to piece together who these people were with at the time of their disappearance. As I said, the case from 6 months ago may be totally different. Has nothing to do with the remains found burned last week in the same general area. But what's strange, a woman being dropped off by her boyfriend to meet another guy. Why? Unless she was in an open relationship or she was prostituting. I don't know. I'm not here to say that that young lady that was found dead months ago was a prostitute. Just saying, a boyfriend, not 6 months ago, but Miss Lomax, she was allegedly with a boyfriend. Getting them confused. The one from a week ago, the boyfriend says he dropped her off. So that's why I said it was an open relationship or she was prostituting, had another date. I don't know. Because see, you're only going by a version. That's what's jacked up. Boyfriend sending a message, oh, I did this, I dropped her off. You don't hear anything else. Now we have a missing person. Same thing with this young lady on the boat. Oh, yeah, we were on the boat. She went to the bathroom. She never came out. We left. It's just a version. You don't know what's the truth. Well, I don't know what to believe. I don't even know the circumstances of Candy, who went missing 6 months ago and was dumped out on the airport road or whatever. How'd she get out there? What was she doing? Very vague. That's why I say there's something really peculiar about Candy Walker's story. Thrown out, found dead. Not very much said about her in the obituary, just that she passed away and how many brothers and sisters she had and a child and a grandchild. No mention of her hobbies, where she went to high school. I found that strange because most people will describe the person in an obituary, what they like to do, where they went to school, where they were born, their activities, if they were vibrant, happy, quiet, shy. People usually mention that in obituaries. Her obituary was bland. Daughter, granddaughter, the day she passed away, and how many brothers and sisters she had. That was the extent of the obituary. Very, very strange. And if I'm not mistaken, they had also put out information pertaining to the disappearance of Miss Taylor or Miss Lomax. That they know how the family must be feeling. Let's see if I can pull that up before I check out of here. Yes, Fox 13 Memphis. Couldn't remember if I mentioned this to you all or not about Candy's family. Candy went missing 6 months ago. We know how it feels. Body found in South Memphis reminds one family of what they lost. This is a young lady I said had the very simple obituary. She obviously was held out at least 3 weeks before burial. As I said, it probably was the issue, of finances and things, because it does cost, it do cost to bury a person. And this was uploaded September 8th pertaining to their commentary. I'm going to try to play this for you all. Thank you all so much for joining me.
Memphis police are investigating a homicide after a body was found in a fire on the side of the road near Swinney and Holmes in South Memphis. It's a disturbing case we reported to you yesterday, but even more disturbing to one Memphis family tonight.
In fact, back in March, another body was found in the same area, and it's also being investigated as a homicide. Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu spoke to the victim's family. They say the history is repeating itself.
Candy Walker's body was found out here back in March. Her family says she was shot in the face and dumped.
Oh, wow.
6 months later, they were shocked to find out that yet another body was found in the same area just this week.
It's like living the day all over again.
2 bodies found on one road 6 months apart. The stretch of Swinney where the bodies were found is densely wooded. There are only a few buildings nearby, a car auction yard and a church, and the sides of the road are littered with garbage. It was the site of a homicide investigation this week, just like it was back in March.
We know how it feels. We don't want nobody to go through what we just went through.
Claudette Moore remembers the day of her sister's death, and 6 months later, the killer still hasn't been caught.
I can't sleep. I can't eat because I want justice. People don't understand.
Candy Walker left behind sisters and a daughter who are still grappling with the trauma of her death and wondering what could have led to it.
We had to have a closed case. They shot my baby in the face.
Oh, wow.
Like, who does that? Why? Just I don't know. Why?
Moore had this message for the latest victim's family.
I don't think I can tell them folks. We understand how they feel. We all be in denial. We got to face reality. Because God got us at the end of the day. Don't never give up on who killed her. Always fight. Because until God take my last breath, me and man, we going to fight.
I asked Memphis police if there was any update in Candy Walker's case or any identity for the body found this week. I was told that all available information had already been released. We spoke to Walker's daughter. I'm putting together her interview for tonight at 10. In Memphis, Jack Bilyeu, Fox 13 News.
Very interesting information. I'm very glad I played this for you all because this is disturbing information and it's very valuable. Whether there's a connection or not, it's peculiar. But like I said, it's not to say that a person can't copycat and dump a body in a place where another body was dumped as to throw off investigators. So this is 6 months ago. Candy Walker, 39 years of age, dumped on this road. I believe it's Airport Road, Holmes Road, whatever. Airport Road. And then the second body is on Holmes Road. It's all in the general area, same road, allegedly. What are the odds? 6 months later, 2 women dumped on the same road. Shot in the face. I didn't even hear that in other reports. Had to have a closed casket for Miss Walker. What happened to Miss Walker? What was she doing before death? Meeting friends, out on a date, Walking around what? What was she doing? Where was she last seen? See, I haven't heard any information of what she was doing before death. I possibly need to dig a little deeper. I may bring you another live stream after I do more information digging about Miss Candy and this unknown victim found burned on the same road last week. Is this a serial killer? Is this the same killer? Were they killed by the same guy, woman, a group of people? What's going on? Human trafficking, prostitution, bad date, bad Johns? What are we talking about? Or did they see something, know something that went on nefarious and they were eliminated as witnesses? I don't know. But we also have the case of Miss Tamia on a riverboat. And I believe the boat dock is still not too far from the deaths of these individuals. The unknown victim burned last week, and 6 months ago, Miss Candy Walker. Is there a correlation between all three of the women or bodies discovered missing? What are we talking about? Prayers for Candy's family. Prayers for the unknown victim. Prayers for the Lomax family who are seeking answers and praying that that's not their loved one that was found last week burned on the side of the road. And prayers for Miss Taylor's family, Miss Deborah, who is now trying to come to grips with her daughter being missing since Saturday night. Somebody knows something about all these cases. Usually they do. And as I've told you with true crime, a lot of criminals confess their crimes to other people. It's just a matter of, will those people come forward and tell the truth that they know of a dead body, where it could be found, so on and so forth, or if it was found, reveal the killer. And I've said that about Crystal Rogers' story. It's a very old story. It's about 8 or so years old. There's an arrest now in that case, and I do believe the boyfriend hired this person or had him help in some way. I'll get more details. I'll bring you that information. His family, I believe, is also involved. We had Dirty Cop as a brother. Other people in the community, I believe, linked into Crystal's disappearance. Small town madness. Small town madness. You can't trust people. All that laughing and skinning and grinning with people, you don't know people. That's why you have to be careful what you say to people, what you repeat about other people, because when you live in a small town, things get back. And I think a lot of people didn't come forward pertaining to Crystal Rogers' disappearance because they knew what was in that town and they knew they had dirty folks running the government, sheriff, police, and they were too afraid to talk. And I watched a documentary of a woman who I believe was related to Crystal, and she got her butt out of there and moved, I think, to Ohio or somewhere else because she feared for her safety living there. And I don't blame her. I would have left too. Because who wants to live in a town where you can't walk around, you can't have an opinion about anything? And once Crystal's father was murdered, you knew what time of day it was, that these people are dangerous. And if they're willing to kill her father because he wanted justice for his daughter, what would they do to you? The same thing. You don't know people. I will be bringing an update pertaining to Crystal Rogers. I'm also going to try to bring you an update pertaining to these 3 stories I just currently mentioned during this live stream. Tamia Taylor, 21 years of age, missing from a Memphis riverboat. The riverboat company says they do believe she was on the boat but did not go overboard. I'm going to try to bring you an update on Miss Lomax, Dominic Lomax, her whereabouts. The remains found last week on a desolate road. And also Miss Candy Walker, who was found on that same road, shot in the face. Is there a correlation between those two and also Tamia's case? I do not know. We're going to tie it in. And I want to say that when you watch this video that I just played, people have just taken their trash and thrown it out on the side of the road. White buckets, look like paint buckets, furniture, just a catch-all for people's trash. Because most places in the county, and I guess in the city too, you have to pay for trash to be picked up if you're a homeowner. So instead of paying, people just go get a truck and dump it in desolate wooded areas, which is, a violation. And it's poisoning the community, just dumping your trash out. So here we have people dumping trash, furniture, and now bodies. That's what was disturbing. Looking at the trash and knowing that also somebody had the audacity to take a life and dispose of a human body on the same road. This is bad. Prayers for Memphis, Tennessee, because they have a lot of crime in Memphis. And as you hear, this young lady who wrote the article, Lily Strickland, 64% of population is African American in the general Memphis area. And the abuse against one another needs to stop. We need to value ourselves, because that's where the mindset comes from itself. You value yourself 9 times out of 10, you would value another human being. But if you don't value yourself, you can't value others. So you got to love yourself. Prayers for these victims, the missing and the victim, Miss Candy Walker. Prayers for the Lomax family. Did they get information to the whereabouts of Miss Dominic? Prayers for whomever that was discarded out there on the road, Holmes Road, that was burned. When I get an update to the remains identification, I will bring you that. And prayers for Miss Tamia Taylor. I pray that she is safe and that maybe she just needed some time to herself. I do not know the circumstances. I do not know if everyone's telling the truth about the Riverboat events. But when I get an update, I will bring you that information. And once again, if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome during the live streams. Yesterday marked 22 years that 4 planes went down here in the United States, 2 into the Twin Towers, 1 in Pennsylvania in a field, and 1 in the Pentagon. Many people lost their lives, those who were on the airplanes and those who were in the buildings and said destinations. We fell down briefly, but we got up. And America worked vigorously, our national government, to make sure that justice was served and that all who were involved were taken down, mainly Osama bin Laden, who is no longer alive. And I'm sure there's still people plotting against us, different locales. But I pray that we do not ever have another catastrophe such as what happened on September 11th, 2001. Thank you for our servicemen and women, those who are currently serving, those who have perished, those who have retired. Thank you for your service. And thank our government for keeping the fight going to keep us safe and keep us out of harm's way. Amen. Thank you all for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. I will put up a poll pertaining to this very diabolical storyline about this Riverboat and these other 2 women. As I said, are any of these cases connected? Is there a serial killer in Memphis? All unrelated. What happened to Miss Taylor? Are her friends involved? Someone on the boat? A patron? Boat staff? What happened to this young lady? Because I believe she has children. And so now we have children wondering where their mother is. And as for Miss Candy, she had a girl child and a grandchild. And as far as Miss Dominic Lomax, I don't believe I have any information if she had children or not. But there's always somebody left behind to be concerned, to be worried, and also be in mourning. So let's pray for those people. Let's pray for our community. I will be bringing more content out of Tennessee because this is where I live. And Memphis has a pandemic damn near because of the crime down there. It is outrageous. And I need to put more information out to the public because I do live in this great state of Tennessee. Thank you all so much for your time. Please check my community board for updates. Feel free to comment over there on the community page on the polls and the breaking news and stories that I have uploaded. I have not decided if I want to talk about the YouTuber mom, 8 passengers, but that is a very wicked, wild story, and she's trying to put the blame off on her own damn child as assaulting other children, which is a low blow because that means you still had knowledge that your child was molesting your other children. This woman is so vile that there are no words for what I think of her and her partner. And I'm also wondering why the father was not brought up on any charges, because where was he while his children were being starved? Out of the country, wasn't taking care of his children, left them. What's the deal with the father? This is a very baffling story. And as I told you, I'm trying not to talk about any children's stories for obvious reasons, but this is a whack story. And I'm wondering if religion does play a part in it, that perhaps there's something wrong with the religion itself, those who are teaching it, if it is the truth. But that's the whole point about religion. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to worship as you see fit. You're entitled to believe in whichever God you want to worship. But there is something very off-putting with the Mormon faith, and I'm going to say that during this live stream. And I'm not saying that all people who worship this Latter-day Saints are bad people, but every time you turn around, whenever there's some whack-ass story about abuse, murder for hire, abuse of children, men marrying children, that religion always tends to pop up, and it's wicked. I'll probably do a Scientology versus the Mormon faith. And I'll let you all give your opinions pertaining to breaking news that has occurred over the years pertaining to both religions. Because I meant to bring you a story last year pertaining to the Latter-day Saints and one of the men who was the leader or whatever, and how he came down and went on the run. And I'm a year behind on that story. And I think I need to get that information out because it's a topic that needs to be discussed. And naturally, I'm not here to badmouth any religion because people are people, no matter if they believe in God or not. But there's something off-putting, as I said, with that religion. There just seems to always be some turmoil within that faith. And what is it and why? Scientology, just as well. You've heard of an actor now facing life in prison for rape. Did he do it? Some people make comments, well, why come out now? Why is he being prosecuted for rape that happened years ago? Well, you're basically saying it's okay to rape a person and they get to walk free. That makes no sense. Rape should be considered like murder. You murdered somebody, we find out you did it, whether it be today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, we bring you to justice. You rape someone, we find out you raped somebody, we bring you to justice. It doesn't matter when you did it. You committed a crime, point blank. That's my commentary for today, everybody. Thank you for joining me. You've been listening to The Vault. Exhale.